Like when I say I don't care and I'm done with something, I am like, that's 100% true. Okay, welcome back, y'all. I'm so excited. Those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel. So, on this channel, we do a little bit of Bible study, we do a little bit of get ready with me, like fashion, makeup, sometimes hair. I'm into all things beauty and fashion. So, even in all of that, I realized that I have not done a video of me explaining who I am. I did one before, like when I first started, I think maybe last year. I did like a short one, but today we are doing another one. We got a little bit deeper too. I went to Chat GPT so I could get some tips on some questions that I wanted to interview myself, but let you all hear my responses to these questions. And Chat GPT did not hold back. Okay. So I know you guys don't really know me, so here we are. Let me just try to explain without being weird. I wrote down my answers, so I have my notes right here, and some of it I will be like just freestyling and answering because some of the questions I was just like, I think I would do better if I answer them like on the spot. But some of these questions I really had to dig deep and think about. I will say this before we get started. If you are trying to rebrand yourself and re get to know yourself and you're finding your way, I would say go to chat and ask chat some questions about who you are and who you're becoming. I think what I typed in was I want to do a Q&A about myself to introduce myself to people who don't know me. So, what questions would you have for me if I was doing an interview? So, chat came up with like a whole, I think it was about 20 questions, but it was broken up in like segments of like, who are you becoming? Tell people something they don't know about you, growth. And it was just a bunch of different options. So, I took away from each section, I took like maybe two questions just to keep this video as short as possible. But I took the questions that I felt like resonated with me for this time. So let's go ahead and get into this. All right, guys. So the first section that I wrote down, I don't know why I feel nervous about this. I don't know. I don't know why I feel a slight bit nervous. Like, why? This is me interviewing me, and I picked these questions. So, anyway, section one, I wrote down, who are you? The first question is, how would you describe yourself to someone who's never met you? Y'all, this question, I had to really think about it, and not because I don't know who I am, but I wanted to describe myself the best way possible for somebody who is just not meeting me. So I envision that I am meeting someone and there is like a wall between us, and they don't know me, they don't know what I look like, and they're asking me to describe myself. So this is what I wrote, and I could have went longer, but I just wanted to keep it short. So I wrote, I would say she's a true woman of God first, a mother. She's beautiful, and not just her appearance, but from within, her spirit. She's honest. She's a lover girl, works hard, and very talented and gifted. She's a solid person. She's an inspiration and encouraging to those around her. She smells very nice, along with a lot of great other qualities. So I feel like that is a good description of myself. I could have went more, but I feel like these are good characteristics, and it's like the inside and outside appearance of who I am. So yeah, that is how would I describe myself to someone who's never met me. So for question two, when do you feel most like yourself? Hmm, that was such a good question because I never really thought about it like that. These questions really made me figure out who I am too. Like, dang, nobody has never asked me these questions before. When do you feel most like yourself? When I am creating, cooking, or using my gifts like my fashion or my beauty gifts, and when I feel safe. Like my environment is safe. Like I'm safe around the people that I know. I know that they love me. I know that I can be my flawed self. I know that I'm not being judged. That's when I think I feel most like myself, when I am around people who actually love me and it's safe. Question 3. What's something about you that sounds fake but is 100% true? I have to laugh at this because I had a couple. One thing I've always been told by other people that actually sit and talk to me or get to know me, they'll tell me, I thought you were mean. You just look so mean. I thought you were a mean person, but you're so cool. You're so nice. Like, and that to me always kind of blew my mind because I had to understand that one, I think it's just how I look sometimes. I don't walk around smiling 24/7, but I did not make room for people. I was not approachable. I'll say that. I was not approachable. I feel like a lot of people have told me in the past like, "You're so nice and I thought you were so mean. You just look like you would be mean." So I'm like, "No, I'm not mean at all. I can be. I can be if I need to be, but no, I'm not." And then also another thing I'll say that people might think is fake because I've been told that there's no way you feel like that, but it really is. When I say I don't care about something, like a situation, I'm not going to say people. I'm not going to say people because I care about people. But if there's a situation and I say I don't care about it, I don't care about it. Like, I'm not saying it as in like it's a facade and I'm trying to convince people that I don't care. I really don't care. And those that really know me know I'm not lying about this. Like when I say I don't care and I'm done with something, I am like, that's 100% true. And then there's no like explanation behind it. I think because there's no other emotion behind it, people sometimes can be like, "You sure you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." Because I am. At that point, I've either already processed it and went through the phases of how I felt about it, and then I just don't care and I'm done. So that is one thing I feel like people think that I'm like fake about, but I promise you, like the switch of caring and not caring should be studied. Section 2, we are moving on to section 2. This one is titled Background and My Story. Question 1 is, what did you need growing up that you didn't always have? I also wrote down questions that I feel like may resonate with the viewers because a lot of these questions, I feel like all of the questions were good, but it was just certain ones that really stuck out to me. And this was one of them. I simply put communication. I could have wrote down a lot of other things, but I put down communication because I feel like that covers every aspect and area of my life. I didn't grow up knowing how to communicate well. We were raised, it was very strict and we didn't have a voice. We was not allowed to express ourselves as much. So I think the communication was a struggle for me going through life because I didn't know how. I didn't know how to communicate that well. I held back a lot of feelings and emotions because I didn't know how to express them. And then that goes into relationships, jobs, friendships. It just goes into money, everything. Communication was one that I feel like is one of the things I wish that I would have had growing up, that we could have had a better environment where we can express more. Question 2 is, where do you come from and how has that shaped you? Wow. I'm telling you, chat was like, they went all the way in. My answer is, I come from a strong group of women. The background of my family, I come from a huge family. My grandmother, I want to be correct when I say this, I think it was 9 children, maybe 10, I'm not sure, but it was up there. I come from a strong family. And when I say strong, I mean like they did not express emotions a lot. I never saw my grandmother cry. I've seen my grandmother lose children and she did not cry. Not in front of us. She did not cry. She was not very apologetic, very strong willed, very expressive. She said how she felt without, she was not apologetic at all. At all. She said what she felt and she didn't care how you felt. I feel like I didn't really get to know them to the like who they really were as women. I feel like they were incapable of teaching me things and qualities of life that I actually needed once I started becoming this woman. And I look back and I'm like, well, either they were incapable because they didn't have them, they didn't have the tools to give out, or they just didn't want to expose that side of them to children. Because, growing up, I'm an 80s baby. So a lot of times the parents don't want to let the kids know hardly anything. Anything adult like, they are not expressing that to the kids, to the teens. You just don't know. So when it comes to money, when it comes to relationships, communication, I feel like I lacked a lot of that growing up. My father was also not in my life. I knew who he was, and I say was because he is deceased now, but I knew who he was. It wasn't like I never knew my father. He just chose the street life, which was drugs, and we were not able to build a relationship before he passed. So I was able to I was able to interact with that side of my family more when I became a teenager because we were in different states. We moved to Ohio, he moved back to Alabama. So we were in two different states. So when we moved back to Alabama, we were able to start visiting my dad's side of the family and building relationships with them. So I would say I come from a broken home background, but also I feel like my mom did the best that she could do with what she had. So that's what I come from. Moving along to section 3. This one is titled Growth. So question 1 is, what's been one of the hardest periods of your life? Whew. Um, this one I feel like kind of makes me a little bit emotional, but very proud. The hardest period of my life that I can say for now was probably raising my son at a young age. I was literally 19 years old and pregnant. It was just a lot of hard times. It was a lot of hard times. A lot of growing up. I was just a young teenager myself. I was 19. So I had to raise him and learn as I go and grow up as I go. He and I literally grew up together. That was a hard journey. I'll say that was a hard journey. I don't regret any of it, but it was hard. And then my business. I have had two businesses before the one I have now. I've tried many other ones. I've tried many other ones. I remember I tried to have a makeup company because I was in love with makeup and I just thought I should just have a company. I could do this. And then I had a couple of clothing boutiques and they failed. My business now, I would say that's been a hard period of my life because it has been successful. Being a business owner is not easy. It's not easy. And I feel like, God chose me for this. So he has made it graceful. He has given me grace. So I'll have to do another video about some of these questions because we could be here all day and I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. Question 2. How have you grown in the last few years? I did not answer this question because I wanted to answer it just from what I feel right now. The last 3 years actually have changed my life. Spiritually, I've grown tremendously. I have learned how to actually have a relationship with Christ, and that has been amazing. I was always a believer. Growing up, we believed. We've always been believers, but I never quite had the relationship with God that I have now. So the last few years have been a lot of shedding, pruning, clarity, and growth. A lot of things I used to desire, I just don't desire anymore. Once I started following Christ, which was exactly 3 years ago, like really seeking Him and following Him daily, I'm just way more calm, more at peace. I surrender more. I understand the process of things. I don't try to rush things anymore. I'm still working on my patience. The last few years have changed me a whole lot for the better. Section 4. Flaws and self-reflection. So the first question is, what are you most proud of about yourself? And that goes back to motherhood again. Just after everything that I went through as a 19-year-old and going through life and not knowing who I was and the broken parts of me just growing up, that was a hard thing to experience. What I'm most proud about of that is that my son is a good person. He's a good person. He's genuine. He loves people. He's kind. So to know that even though I went through all of not knowing what I was doing, I still managed to raise a good person. So I'm very proud of that. Question two: what do you think people misunderstand about you? Is that I don't care. People really be thinking I don't care. So sometimes, let me just say this, I do care. But sometimes I don't show a lot of emotion towards things. Like, I'm not, okay, I'm very emotional. Let's change that. I am very emotional. I'm not dramatic. I am not dramatic. I'm very monotone, very just like, okay. Like my excitement, if I'm excited, I'm not like overly like excited, but I'm excited. Like my excitement probably still would be kind of calm to an extent, but I'm not dramatic. So I think people feel like sometimes I don't care when I actually do. Like my energy might make you think I don't care. So I think that's one thing people misunderstand about me. The next question is, what's a truth about yourself you've only recently accepted? So a truth about myself that I've only recently accepted, I procrastinate. I used to not be that way, but I think because sometimes fear creeps in our lives and we failed at things before, it kind of makes us feel like we should just wait on it so much on this thing or whatever it is. It could be anything. But I feel like I used to not be that way. I was literally one who would think of something because I'm a creative. I would think of something, want to do something, and jump off the cliff. I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. I have not consulted with anybody. I have not consulted with God. I write it down and I'm doing it. Now I'm a little bit more patient about it. But I think it's out of just wanting to make sure that the Lord is in agreement with it. So sometimes I feel like I procrastinate even when He gives me the yes. I kind of procrastinate and still won't move because then I'm like, ugh, really? Are you sure? I'm just going to try to change it. Yeah, I recently accept that truth about myself. I procrastinate. So section 5 is relationships. Oh, relationships. Question 1 is, how do you show love or care? I am a very supportive person. I'm a giver. I try to show up for people as much as I can, even if it's in the smallest way. If you need me to be there for you for something, I'm gonna try to be there. I'll change my schedule to try to be there to support you. I like to give. I'm not very great at receiving because I'm a giver. So if somebody gives me something, I feel like, why did you do that? You know? And I just feel like I've been like that for so long that I'm different now. I'm different now. I'm different now. I receive. But I'm such a giver that sometimes when somebody gives me something, I feel like I got to give them something back. And it's not me trying to outdo them. It's just, I feel like that's just how it goes. Like, you do for me, I do for you. But in all cases, that's not how that goes. And because there's other people who are just a giver and they want to give you something, they don't want something back. There are other people who are a giver like you and don't receive well. So I am a person who I love through giving. And I also encourage people. I like to encourage and uplift people. I don't care if it's a dog. I am I try to be as encouraging as possible. I try to understand people as much as possible, like both sides of something. I like balance. So that's how I love. That's how I care. Question 2: when do you feel most connected to others? I feel most connected to people when they share like I'm sharing. When they give testimonies, when they give a little background to who they are. And it's more on a spiritual level to me when I connect with people because now I think everything is spiritual. I look at people as souls and not flesh. So when I connect with people, it's out of probably discernment. I can also just feel when the connection is off because of discernment. So Sometimes immediately I can tell, oh, this is a really good person. Her spirit is beautiful. Or his spirit, not just her, but or I can tell immediately like, mm-mm. I feel most connected to others when your spirit draws you to people. That's also another way I could tell that I'm connected. So to me, it's just a spiritual thing when I feel most connected to people. But yeah, when they share, when they tell me who they really are, um, if we're building that relationship, that's when I feel most connected. In closing, I have two more questions. What does a meaningful life look like to you? A meaningful life to me looks like helping souls come out and come closer to God, living a peaceful life with a healthy body, creating memories with people I love. That's what a meaningful life looks like to me. It's pretty simple. That's it. I don't have a lot more to say about that. The next question is, who are you becoming? I didn't write an answer because this is also one that I feel like I need to like freestyle. And I just feel like I'm different. 2 Chainz different. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I feel like I'm still becoming. I do know the relationship that I have with God, He is still molding me, creating me into the woman He has always wanted me to be. So right now, I'm becoming stronger. I'm definitely becoming more confident, more bold. I'm not afraid of things I used to be afraid of anymore. I'm not afraid of losing people. I'm becoming a woman who operates out of wisdom. I process things now before I respond. So I am becoming more aware of what's going on around me. But right now, that is who I am. I'm more patient. I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I love on myself a lot more these days. Like the love that I give to others, I love on myself a lot more these days. That pretty much sums up my Q&A for today. I definitely want to do this again because I feel like there's so much more to cover, but this pretty much sums up a little bit about who I am and also who I'm becoming. So, as we grow on this channel, you will hear a lot more from me about me. So this is not like a one-time thing. I just wanted to do this because I feel like, hey, you've been putting out content, you've been putting out videos, and these people don't really know you for real. So if there's any questions in the comments y'all want to ask me, if I feel like they're not too personal, I will answer them. But I'm definitely going to do this again. And if you're watching this and you are in the process of becoming, please be patient with yourself. Please be patient with yourself. This is a process. Like 3 years ago, I was not who I am today. Following God, serving the Lord, loving, trusting Him. I never thought in a million years that I would surrender and do this. So, if you're on the journey and you're changing your life with God, just be patient. It is, there's no time limit to becoming. You just have to get up every day and choose to do something that is drawing you closer to who you want to become. So don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. Pray. Find community that you can build with spiritually and become the person that God wants you to be. This is not a race. You just have to be consistent. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time.